Ave Maria. So. All right, that's all I got. That's all I could do. That's all my voice could do. That is the beauty of what we're about to experience this week, ladies and gentlemen. It is football season officially. Thursday night, the lights will shine down in Tampa Bay, Florida, at Raymond James Stadium, where Tom Brady and the Buccaneers will receive their second Super Bowl title as a franchise, but Tom's seventh as a player. And who are they playing? Who are they playing? They're playing America's team. That's who they're playing. The comeback story of Dak Prescott from the gruesome ankle injury last year. Mike McCarthy's second season as Cowboys head coach, trying to lead the boys back to the playoffs. And that's just Thursday. Whoo, boy! We got a whole full slate of games on Sunday, baby. We got a lot coming at you. It is part 2 of our Are You Ready for Some Football special. Here's what we got on deck. Fantasy, sleepers, and busts for week 1 with John the Professor. Okay? And then we are going to go division by division. And we are going to tell you here at PSP how exactly the 2021 season is going to shake out. From division winners to playoff matchups to Super Bowl champions. Because why not? Because we can. No one can tell us no. Award season, anyone? Yup. We got that covered too. And then our first picks segment. Oh, I can't wait. I am jazzed up today. Football is back. I'm ready to pick somebody in the mouth. Let's go to work. Roll the tape.
You play to win the game.
Touchdown! Can't wait.
Yo, Johnny.
You've never been so fired up.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm psyched, man.
Is this what it feels like for week 1?
Whoo, baby. This is what hope is. This is what hope. Every team at the beginning of the year, you have hope. You know why? Because it's not baseball where you have the crappy teams. It's not basketball where the best talent always wins. Every single season, there is a team that goes from worst to first. And every franchise is like, that's us. That's us. 49ers a couple of years ago, going from last place all the way to the Super Bowl. It could happen.
It could.
And week 1 is all about hope. John, how are you hoping this year? How are you hoping for this Sunday to commence? Are you ready? Are you ready for the Purple People Eaters to go down to Cincinnati and take on them Bengals?
You know what it is, Joe? I see you're excited today. And first of all, happy Labor Day, everybody. It's nice to have a day off, too.
Yes, it is.
But I get excited on Sunday. So like Sunday, like 12:45, I'm starting to run in circles in this.
See, no, I get nervous on Sundays because I'm like anticipating. See, that's like the losing mentality that I've become accustomed to. That I'm just like, I get nervous.
You're anticipating the worst.
Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, kind of like Murphy's Law type of deal. But man, I'm psyched, man. I'm psyched. I can't. And it's not just about my team. It's about everything. Football's back. It's the greatest sport in America.
Full stadiums.
I don't want to hear this talk about America's pastime. Baseball's changed for the worse. Okay, let's all get that out of the way. All right, basketball you don't have to watch until April. Okay,
it's very true.
All right, hockey. I have friends that like hockey, but not enough people care about hockey to even like carry it to be like football owns everything. This is the time of year from now until the end of February. This is when football rules the domain.
Of course.
It's football 24/7, 365, as we told every single one of you on our first podcast. That's what football is. And we are going to get ready today
This is our biggest episode yet.
Yeah, I love this. I can't wait. I'm fucking psyched. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm just like, I feel like I could jump out this window right now and start flying. That's how I feel.
Please don't do that.
I'm not.
You would actually just hit the ground pretty hard.
I probably would. I'd probably die, but it's all right.
Depends how you land.
If I die, I'll die a champion. Okay?
You will.
All right.
You think the Jaguars would honor you?
Probably not. They don't know I exist. But it's okay. We were going to do the fantasy segment last today. However, John said, you know what, Joe? We know what we're good at. Let's give the people what they want. So what we're going to do, we're going to give the people what they want. But before we do that, we just want to let you know, we want to let your families know, tell your siblings, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your coworkers. You could catch Perfect Spiral on Apple, Google, Spotify, Pandora, anywhere you could get a podcast, you could get us. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe 5 stars to push us up the charts. Thanking every single one of you guys. This offseason would not have been able to last without every single one of you. Approaching 1,000 downloads for the history of Perfect Spiral. That's fantastic. I'll take it.
Very good.
I'll take it. And now we push forward. So, John, let's bring back the curtains. I want you to step into the light. And I want you to put on the professor, as we've dubbed you for this fantasy football season.
The professor.
And you give me 3 sleepers that people aren't potentially looking to start in week 1 that you think they should.
All right, so the first sleeper I got, Joe, is Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown, wide receiver on the Baltimore Ravens. The last 5 games for him last year were actually pretty solid. He was about above 13 fantasy points per game. He's going against the Raiders week 1. Listen, we don't need to keep beating the dead horse. You already know what the Raiders are. I mean, we're going to beat them more later, I'm sure. But you already know what the Raiders are. Terrible defense. They need to. The Ravens need to get off the ground running, and they need to establish the pass. That's something that they don't do enough, is establish the pass. I think that Hollywood Brown has a nice game.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it's a good game.
Can I get like some stat prediction here for Hollywood Brown?
I would say 6 for 84, maybe a touchdown.
6 for 84.
6 for 84.
In a PPR league is about 12.4 points. That's a nice flex play.
That's a nice flex play. Add another 6 for a touchdown.
18. That's
18 points. That's solid.
You're approaching wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1 status at that point.
So that's my first. That's my first sleeper there.
Okay.
My second sleeper. He's not as much of a sleeper now, I feel like, but if you're not following until Sunday, he could be a sleeper.
Okay.
Is Jamal Williams, running back on the Lions.
Okay.
DeAndre Swift is dealing with a groin injury. Not sure he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play. He's going against... let me see who the Lions are playing. I think the Lions actually have a pretty tough matchup. I meant to write it down. I had the others written down. He's going against San Francisco. They're home for San Francisco. I like him solely off the fact that he's going to get a lot of targets in the passing game. I feel like it's going to be a lot of dink and dunk. There's really no receivers over in Detroit. He's going to get a heavy workload just off sheer volume. Honestly, I could see him scoring anywhere between 18 and 20 points.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see him getting about maybe 65 yards on the ground and a touchdown.
He's
five balls for 40.
He's one of my bench guys, so I don't know. Maybe I might take your advice on that, honestly.
I mean, the volume is just going to be crazy for him. There's nobody behind him either.
No, not for week 1. No, for sure.
So, and then my final sleeper of the week. He's for a lot of people. I saw him going a lot later in drafts than I really suspected him to go.
Okay.
That's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going against the 31st ranked defense against the pass in Atlanta. Atlanta's defense did not get any better. I could see that game being a high scoring shootout. And Jalen Hurts having a day to open the season. A day.
You talking top 5 quarterback numbers?
I'm talking top 5 for week 1, possibly, yes.
Wow.
Because you know he's going to run the ball. He could score one on the ground. I could see him throwing for 2 or 3 touchdowns, 250 yards. That's pretty damn good, Joe. So that's my 3 sleepers for the week. I would start Jalen Hurts. If you have him, start him against Atlanta. They didn't get any better. There's nothing there. So I can see that being a shootout, and I can see him coming up with some, some pretty big numbers. I know I'm starting him in actually one of my leagues. So
okay, interesting.
Joe's got the busts over here. So
I got the busts, okay, and I'm going to trying to go in the same order that John went in last year. Okay. Oh, not last year. This just now. So I'm gonna give you a bust for week 1. Okay, and we're gonna go to one of the places you went to, and that's Detroit.
Ooh. Okay.
And my bust for week 1, pass catcher version, is T.J. Hawkinson, tight end. Okay. Couple things to note here. 1, they're playing San Francisco. Okay. 2, okay, they have new quarterback, Jared Goff. If anybody watched Jared Goff when he was with the LA Rams, he did not like throwing to the tight ends. I guarantee you, Tyler Higbee could catch the ball, Gerald Everett could catch the ball. He didn't like throwing to them for whatever reason. Did not like it. Okay. Number 3, last season, this is all we have to go off right now because it's week 1. Last year, San Francisco, as hurt as they were number 1 in fantasy points allowed versus tight ends. They gave up the least amount of fantasy points to tight ends. And the way I'm going to tell you, they gave up, and I'm going to give you stats right now. This is from the football database here. We're going over a course of 16 games, 55 catches for 500 yards, only 4 touchdowns allowed to tight ends all year.
Wow.
And then the last thing, Hawkinson's last 3 games in 2020 were as follows. 2 catches for 18 yards, 4 catches for 23 yards, and 3 catches for 25 yards. He did not go above 6.3 points in the last 3 games of last season. I don't know if that has anything to do with coming in with a new coach and a new quarterback, but I just don't like the way things are lining up for T.J. Hawkinson.
Wow.
Okay?
Excellent.
All right? So if you have Hawkinson, pump the brakes.
I avoided him in every draft, personally.
I think you're gonna be able to play him this year. I just think week 1 may be a tough match.
Yeah.
My second guy. Okay, and we got breaking news here. We just got word that Clyde Edwards-Hilaire is going to play in week 1. So if you have Clyde Edwards-Hilaire and you were worried about his ankle injury, worry no more. He will be playing week 1 on Sunday against the Cleveland Browns. Okay, now number 2. Okay, and this person is from Thursday night's game between the Cowboys and the Buccaneers.
Okay, interesting.
If I am a owner who owns Ezekiel Elliott, I am contemplating benching him.
Whoa. Joe's coming with heat on this pod already.
I am contemplating benching him. No Zach Martin, which is huge.
Huge.
Absolutely humongous. Okay? Let's not forget that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers brought back all 22 starters from last year's, again, I'll repeat this for the people in the back, Super Bowl champion team, okay? And who in the Super Bowl made Patrick Mahomes probably run 4.5 miles just by being chased in the pocket.
496 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Okay? No Zach Martin. Lyle Collins is a maybe for Thursday night, okay? I'm not saying Zeke's gonna be a complete bust, okay? But if you're counting on him for getting him 20 to 25 points on Thursday, I think you're crazy. I do.
And then Ndamukong Suh just got activated off the COVID list as well.
More to my point, okay? And again, I'm going to stick to my theme. Week 1, you want to look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year against running backs. John, you know what they were? Number 1 against running backs, okay? They gave up less than 1,000 yards as a team against running backs fantasy last year. Only 8 touchdowns, gave up 192 fantasy points over the course of the entire season to running backs. That is an average of 12 points a game. An average of 12 points a game.
That's insane.
That's not RB1 status.
Not at all.
For Zeke Elliott, okay? So, and, we've already kind of heard rumblings that Zeke may not see as many carries this year. Tony Pollard's a really good backup, so temper the expectations. You want to put Zeke in the flex? Have at it. I don't think he's an RB1 this week. I don't. I think if the Cowboys going to be throwing a lot, I think I see, for me, Dak way up, trending upwards. CeeDee Lamb, Mari Cooper, trending upwards. I think they're going to throw the ball 50 times on Thursday night. I really, really do. I really, really do. But Zeke, not so sure.
Interesting. With Dak coming off the shoulder.
Okay? And here's my last guy. Now, this might make you fall off your chair. Okay? This might make you fall off your chair. But I'm going to say it. Okay?
Wow, Joe. Usually I'm the one that's coming with the heat, with the takes, but Joe is really... He's got some good ones today.
Okay? My bust for quarterback in week 1 of the 2021 NFL season is Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills.
Interesting.
Every single person that I know, myself included, is writing off the Pittsburgh Steelers before they step on the field for this season. Okay? That defense was the number 1 overall defense last season. Okay? Last year was Josh Allen's breakout season. They returning Brian Daboll as the offensive coordinator. Okay? So everyone in the NFL knows the Bills don't like to run the ball. Okay? I would be if I'm Pittsburgh, okay? I am rushing as many edge rushers to the quarterback as many times as I can, okay? Pittsburgh last year was number 2 against quarterbacks in fantasy, okay? And I'll pull up their stats here in a second. My phone locked on me, but we don't want to do that. They were, and where are we? Come on. Okay, here we go. They allowed 22 passing touchdowns to 18 interceptions last year. So they picked off quarterbacks 18. That's a little over more than once a game. That's like 1.1 times a game.
Wow.
Okay? So history will show us, okay, that Josh Allen is going to throw 1 touchdown and 1 interception through the air, okay? And they only gave up, listen to this, John. Everyone loves Josh Allen for his legs, right? Josh Allen, the Steelers allowed 1 rushing touchdown by a quarterback last year. 1.
Wow.
1. That's it. Don't be surprised. I'm not saying the Bills are going to lose that game because I think they're going to win that game. I think they're a far superior team than Pittsburgh. But if you're looking at Josh Allen to put up 45, 50 points on Sunday against Pittsburgh, against a team that already has a chip on its shoulder from last year, started off, 11-0, then lost the last 5 games of the year and got embarrassed in the wildcard game against Cleveland, I think you're crazy. Here's my book. Josh Allen does not finish in the top 12 quarterback fantasy points for week 1.
I could see it.
Those are Josh Allen, quarterback, Zeke Elliott, running back, TJ Hawkinson, pass catcher. Those are your busts for week 1.
Week 1 fantasy bust. Joe, honestly, that was fantastic. Really in-depth stuff there. That was really good.
I'm here for the folks.
You always come with the heat. You always come with the numbers. You always come with everything. It's just so good.
Numbers, stats, data.
I do think Buffalo wins that game.
So do I.
And Zeke, I could totally see that. I do not like his matchup at all.
No, it's going to be rough, I think. All right, we're going to take a small break. When we come back, we are going to get into prediction season on play. I was going to say play 60. Listen to me. On
play 60
on Perfect Spiral Podcast. Don't go anywhere.
Hey y'all, Spencer Blinn, the producer for Perfect Spiral Podcast, and you're listening to my band Hollow Choir's new song, What You Want. Available now on Spotify. What you want.
All right, John.
We're back on play 60?
We're back on play 60. Jesus Christ.
60 minutes a day.
Oh my God. All right.
You should listen to Perfect Spiral 60 minutes a day.
Here we go. We should listen to Perfect Spiral 60 minutes. Here's how we're going to do this. And you tell me if I'm crazy.
All right, let's do it.
We're going to go division by division.
Okay.
We're going to talk about each team. We're going to talk about each team lightly. But give our reasons for why a team is coming in this position. Maybe one that may surprise us, whatever the case may be. You cool with that? And then after we do that, we'll go over our playoff seedings.
Yes.
And then we'll go by the playoffs, and we'll give our Super Bowl prediction at the end.
And then we have our awards, and then we have our picks.
Picks, baby.
Our picks. I have my FanDuel picks here.
Can't wait for that.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's start in our own backyard.
Okay.
Let's start with the AFC East first.
All right, hold on. I gotta
Okay.
I got my.
I'll go
handy
first.
dandy thing
Okay.
here.
So here's who I got in the AFC East, how things are shaking out here. Okay.
All right.
I am not somebody who likes to bet money or go against the grain, so I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills in first place, finishing 14-3.
You have the Buffalo Bills finishing 14-3.
I have the Buffalo Bills finishing 14-3. In second place in that division, I have the New England Patriots finishing 9-8. In third place, I have the Miami Dolphins finishing 9-8. And in fourth place, I have the New York Jets finishing 4-13.
Wow. Okay, so we have very different standings here.
Very.
Very is an understatement. So, do you want me to give you mine?
Talk to me, baby.
Okay, so I have New England winning the division.
Wow.
At 12-5.
Amazing. Okay.
I have Buffalo coming in second at 11-6.
Okay.
And for clarity, I have both teams making the playoffs out of that division.
Okay. I do have New England as the 7 seed, and I have Buffalo as the number 1 seed.
Yes,
in the
I have
AFC.
New England as the 3 and Buffalo as the 6.
Okay.
And then I have the Jets finishing 5-12.
Okay. So we're kind of on the same length there.
And I have Miami finishing 5-12.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. A couple things I want to do a little couple nuggets there. Okay.
All right.
We don't really have to talk about the Bills because you have them 11-6. I have them at 14-3.
We have them as a playoff team nonetheless.
Right. That's fine. Let's talk about New England and Miami because I
Okay.
think those are the two most interesting teams in that division, to be honest.
All right.
Okay. Let's talk about Miami first because I'm going to flip over to Miami's schedule.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm gonna go to it too.
All right, I'm going to flip over to Miami's schedule, and we're going to talk about Miami for a second. You have them going 5-12.
I'm going 5-12.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to run through Miami's schedule quickly. Okay, and I'm going to tell you who I had them beating. Okay, and so they open up the season at New England. Right, I have them losing that game
Same.
on Sunday. Okay?
Okay.
Then I have them actually starting off 0-3. I have them losing to Buffalo. Then I have them losing at Vegas to start the season 0-3.
I have them beating Vegas.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
So then I have their first win coming against Indianapolis at home.
I have Indy beating them.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Then I have them losing against Tampa. I have them beating Jacksonville and Atlanta. I have them losing to Buffalo. And then I have them going on a 4-game winning streak. I have them beating Houston, Baltimore, the Jets, and Carolina. And then I have them losing to the Giants. I have them beating the Jets, losing to New Orleans, losing at Tennessee, and ending the year on a win against New England to get into the playoffs.
All right, so here's where we differ a little bit. So up until the Colts, I have the Colts winning. I have the Bucks beating them.
Mm-hmm.
I have Jacksonville beating them.
God bless.
I have them beating Atlanta.
Yep.
I have them beating Buffalo, splitting.
Really?
Yeah, I have the Texans beating them.
What?
I have the Ravens beating them, the Jets beating them, and the Panthers. I think that's where we differed. Is
So
that
you
4-game
have the
stretch
Texans, the Jets, and the Panthers.
beating Miami. And then I have
Wow.
them beating the Giants. I have them beating the Jets. I have New Orleans beating them, Titans beating them, and then I have the Patriots winning to close out the season.
So you have them losing 2 out of 2 to New England.
I have them losing 2 out of 2 to New England. I have them splitting with Buffalo. Wow.
Why do you think they're going to be so bad?
I didn't see anything in the preseason that made me confident in Tua. So I came into this season feeling that like Tua was going to have this like resurgent jump, and I just kind of saw more of the same. Myles Gaskin is good, but again, Myles Gaskin is not a pure RB1. Jalen Waddle's a rookie. Devontae Adams, we already know what he is. We know what Gesicki is, but it's just Tua. And like, who knows if they're going to deal Xavier Howard during the season? I don't trust.
Is this
it.
all on Tua? Be honest with me. Is it all on Tua?
It is all on Tua. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to Miami, if they go to 5-12, he's not the quarterback next year.
No, I agree. He's not.
And you know what's funny is I don't think he's the quarterback next year, period, because I think that these Watson rumors for them are true.
You think they're going to get Watson?
I do think they're going to get Watson. I feel like, listen, they're going to go. I feel like they're going to go 5-12. I feel like they're going to regress. I don't think Brian Flores is going to lose his job per se, but I just don't like them this year.
To go from 10-6 to 5-12 is a huge drop.
Joe, they have a tough schedule.
See, but you have them losing to teams like Houston, the Jets, and Carolina.
Listen, I think they split with the Jets. I think the Jets get a little frisky at times.
The Jets will be better this year. I don't think their record will show it, but they will be a better football team.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be much like what the Giants were last year. I feel like the record didn't as much show it, but it was just frisky.
All right, that's interesting. I want to talk about New England because I know you're very high in New England.
Very high on New England this year.
I'm high on New England, but I'm not as high. I mean, I have them making the playoffs at 9-8, right? So I have them being the number 7 seed in the playoffs.
And I have them at 12-5.
Okay, you have them at 12-5. I like the fact that Bill said Mac Jones is our guy. I like that, and I think it's going to pay dividends at points throughout the season. Their schedule to start the season, I think, is soft.
Very soft.
Their first 4 games are 4 out of their first 5 games are against. I'm sorry, 3 out of their first 5 games are against teams who didn't make the playoffs last year, and one of those other teams is New Orleans, who looks drastically different, obviously without Drew Brees. I have them starting off the season 4-1, but I think they have a tough stretch at the end of the year, John. I mean, listen to this schedule at the end. After week 9, listen to this schedule, okay? And to me, there's only 2 gimme games on this schedule, right? This is how, so for the record, okay, I have them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have them at 5-3 after week 8. I have them losing to Tampa, I have them losing to Dallas, and I have them losing to the Chargers.
So you have them 5-3 after week 8.
Yes.
I have them going.
I have them 5-3 after week 8.
I have them going 7-2.
It doesn't match up because, no, it has to be 6-2, you mean?
So it might be 6-2.
So, okay, you have them losing to Tampa.
I have them losing to Tampa.
You have them losing to the Chargers or Dallas?
I have them losing to the Chargers.
Okay, so you have them beating Dallas.
I have them beating Dallas.
That's our only switch. All right, so I have them losing to Dallas, right? So we're pretty similar on that through week 8, okay? Listen to this schedule, all right? At Carolina, Cleveland, at Atlanta, Tennessee, Buffalo, at Indy, Buffalo, Jacksonville, at Miami.
So
John, that's not easy.
It's not easy, but
the only 2 games that they're gimme games to me are Atlanta and Carolina. That's it. And you could, if you want to call Jacksonville a gimme game, okay, fine. But at the end of the year, I think Jacksonville's going to be a much better team than they ought to start the season. Personally,
yeah. So I think here's the thing. I just like the way Belichick would scheme against a team like Cleveland. I feel like if anyone's... So you got to remember
I don't think
last year,
pound for pound they're better than Cleveland. Pound for pound they're not better than Tennessee. Pound for pound they're not better than Buffalo.
I don't. But at the same time, you got to remember this, Joe. Let me tell you this. Dante Hightower's coming back.
Oh, great.
They brought a bunch of... That defense is significantly better. I feel like if they're carried by anything this year, it's going to be that defense. I think Mac Jones plays pretty damn well, but I think that defense is drastically improved. You saw Judon in the preseason. He looked fantastic. Granted, they are suffering on the outside because Gilmore's out the first, 7 weeks?
6 weeks.
First 6 weeks. So let me just tell you what I have them doing here.
Right.
I do have them losing to the Bucs. I have them losing to the Jets in week 2. Okay?
What?
I do have them losing to the Jets in the Meadowlands. I have them losing to the Jets.
Wow. Okay.
I have the Chargers beating them in week 8. And then I have them going on a run here. I have them beating the Panthers. I have them beating the Browns. I have them beating the Falcons.
Right. Okay.
I have them beating the Titans in New England. I have a very good defensive line. That's a very good defensive line. I have them beating the Bills in Buffalo.
John, that's a gauntlet, man.
After their bye week, though, they go 2-2. I have them losing to the Colts. I have them losing to the Bills. I have them beating Jacksonville, and I have them beating Miami. But here's the thing, Joe. I'll tell you how this breaks down. So the way that when I did this, it broke it down. It's kind of great. Versus winning teams, according to my algorithm and how I did this, they're 3-4. Against losing teams, they're 9-1.
So
that's where they break their bread.
You have them at 12-5.
I'm at 12-5.
I have them at 9-8. You want to know the difference?
What?
You have them beating Cleveland, Tennessee, and Buffalo. I have them losing to Cleveland, Tennessee, and Buffalo.
There it is.
That's where the difference is.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Maybe they're somewhere in between. Maybe they're 10-7.
Listen, I think it's
I don't know.
Possible.
But I think we both agree that they are a playoff team this year. They should make the playoffs.
100%.
Okay, good. Let's move over to the NFC East.
Okay.
Right? And I'll start again. So I have the Washington football team winning the division at 11-6.
Me too.
Do you really?
Yes.
Okay. I have the Dallas Cowboys coming in second at 9-8. I have the Giants coming in third at 7-10. And I have the Eagles coming in last at 5-12.
All right, so we are very close in this division.
Okay.
So I have Washington going 11-6, but
Right.
I have them going 2-4 in the division. Go figure. I have the Giants coming in second at 10-7.
Wow. Okay.
I have Dallas coming in third at 8-9. Mm-hmm. And I have the Eagles coming in last at 4-13.
Okay. No reason to talk about Philly. I think Dallas, we kind of know what they are.
Yeah.
They're a 500 ball club, swing either way.
No defense whatsoever.
I want to talk about Washington for a minute because we both have them at 11-6. So that means that we both must have them in the same realm here.
I have them on this insane run the first 8 weeks, Joe.
See, I have them on a run at the end of the season, which is interesting.
I'm curious. Okay, so how did we both get to 11-6?
So I have them actually starting off 1-2. I have them beating LA, then I have them losing back-to-back games against the Giants and at Buffalo. Then I have them beating Atlanta. I have them beating New Orleans. I have them beating Kansas City.
I do too.
Do you really?
I do, yep.
Okay. I have them losing to Green Bay on the road. I have them beating Denver going into the bye. So into the bye, they are 5-3.
I have them at 1, 2, 3. I have them 7-1 going into the bye.
So you said you had them on a run. Who do you have them losing to? The Giants?
So I have them losing to the Giants week 2.
Okay. You have them beating Buffalo.
I have them beating Buffalo. I have them beating Atlanta.
In Buffalo.
In Buffalo. I have them beating Atlanta. I have them beating the Saints. I have them beating the Chiefs. I have them beating Green Bay, and I have them beating the Broncos.
You think it's because of their defense?
It's because of their defense.
Okay. So after the bye, I have them coming out of the gate losing 2 in a row. I have them losing to Tampa, and I have them losing in Carolina.
I have them going 2-2 on coming out
Kind
of
of
the
like
bye.
sleepwalking in Carolina a little bit, right?
Yeah.
They're going to overlook Carolina, right? Because the week after Carolina, they have to play Seattle on a Monday night.
I do have them beating Carolina.
I have them beating Seattle. And this is the Seattle games where I have this run for Washington.
Okay.
Because after the Carolina game, I have them at 5-5, and then I have them going on a run from the end of November to the beginning of January. I have them beating Seattle, beating Vegas, beating Dallas, losing in Philly is their only other loss during the rest of the season.
I have that as well. Yep.
Then I have them beating. I have them sweeping Dallas. I have them beating Philly, and then I have them winning in New York to end the season to go 11-6.
Okay, so real quick, after the bye, I have them losing to the Bucks. I have them beating the Panthers. I have them losing to Seattle. I have them beating the Raiders. I have the Cowboys beating them in Washington. I have them beating the Eagles in Philly. I have them winning in Dallas. Mm-hmm. They swap. I have them beating Philly at home, and I have the Giants beating them in Week 18.
So yeah, we just fly. I think I think when you go 7-9 without a quarterback, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick can win them 4 of those games they lost last year.
Of course.
I don't think that's a stretch. I don't.
Not at all.
I mean, I looking at the games that, are there a couple of games that you may think are a little crazy that they win? Sure. I mean, the only games that I have on the schedule that I think that they may struggle with are the Seattle game and the Kansas City game. If they lose both those games, that puts them at 9-8. However, I think they're improved.
100%.
I think Antonio Gibson becomes a stud running back this season.
Yep.
I think Terry McLaurin goes into that stratosphere as top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. And I think they're good. I think they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. I really do.
And I think they have who's going to be probably the best defensive player in football, Chase Young.
Okay.
That team is
They're going to be good.
Very good. So
quickly, I have the Giants going 7-10. You have them going 10-7. Can you just tell me why you have them going 10-7?
So I have them going 10-7. I'll tell you my schedule where I have them at. I have them beating the Broncos. I have them beating Washington week 2. I have them beating Atlanta, starting off 3-0. I have them losing to New Orleans. I have them losing to Dallas in Dallas. I have the Rams beating them. Then they're 3-3 through 6.
So they're 3-3 after 6.
I have them beating the Panthers. I have them losing to the Chiefs. I have them beating the Raiders. I'm losing to the Bucks. I have them beating the Eagles at home. I have the Dolphins beating them. They lose in Miami. They lose in LA. They win at home against Dallas. And they basically go 4-0 to end the season. They beat Philly, they beat the Bears, and they beat Washington.
So you have them at 6-7 going into the last 4 games. You have them winning 4 to go 10-7.
Yeah, but at 10-7, they missed the playoffs.
Wow, you have them missing the playoffs at 10-7.
They actually would just miss. So they would be in the hunt basically the whole year, and they would just miss. They'd be the 8 seed.
For context, I have Washington as the 4 seed at 11-6, and I have the Cowboys as the 7 at 9-8.
Washington is my 4 seed as well.
Okay. So let's go to the AFC North.
Okay.
I have Cleveland winning division at 12-5.
Okay.
I have Baltimore coming in second at 10-7. I have Pittsburgh coming in third at 7-10. And I have Cincinnati coming in last place. However, I have them finishing at 6-11. Much better than last year.
We're very close on this too, Joe. I have Cleveland, who is technically my 2 seed in the AFC, going 13-4.
Right.
I have Baltimore at 8-9, missing the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
I have the Steelers at 6-11, and I have Cincinnati at 4-13.
Okay. The only team I want to talk about in this division is Baltimore.
Okay.
Because I think they're fascinating.
Very fascinating.
I think I had them at 10-7. You had them at 8-9. John, I could have put them at 8-9 very easily, I feel like.
They have a really fucking hard schedule.
I mean, I just, it's not really about the schedule. It's about the team. It's about the team. Yes, they went into Tennessee and they won a wild card game last year. I'm with you. I know I'm the minority in this, but I don't think Lamar Jackson is that good.
I think the jig is up on him.
I think he's a phenomenal fantasy quarterback. That's the only term I'm ever using him as phenomenal. I don't think he's a quarterback that wins you a Super Bowl.
I agree.
I don't. I hope he proves me wrong, but I just don't see it. A quarterback who is better at running than passing is not a guy you want leading your offense.
I mean, you could already tell that they might feel the same way because they have not spoken about an extension. And
I think they're going to extend him.
Of course, they have to. I mean, he's won an MVP. He's an all-pro. But at the same time, Joe, I agree with you. I don't believe in this team.
It's just something about them that I just don't like.
Their shot was 2 years ago. It's just, there's something like they have the corners, but Marcus Peters is another year older. And Marcus Peters, a lot of times last year, got killed. He got killed.
He's a bullhawk. He takes chances.
I know, and he pays for him a lot of times. I mean, still, granted, you have Marlon Humphrey, who's probably one of the best corners in football. They have Jimmy Smith. Listen, they have all the pieces, but something about this team just does not sit right with me.
I know, it's weird, right? I'm looking through this. I'm like, yeah. Like, I feel like they're going to win games that they shouldn't, and I feel like they're going to lose games that they shouldn't.
You know what they remind me of? And I just thought of this.
Tell me.
They remind me of that Chargers team a couple of years ago.
Oh.
Where it was like, it could have every week, it could have went either way.
They lost like 6 one possession games, something like that.
Yeah, it's something about them just seems like if Lamar has the ball with 2 minutes left,
like, just for instance, like I have them like, beating I have them beating the Rams in week 17, but I have them losing to Denver in week 4. Like
I have them losing to Denver too.
I can't figure it out. I have them losing to Cincinnati, but I have them beating Green Bay. It's a conundrum because I feel like they're a team that, again, they're going to rise to the occasion when they need to, but they're also going to falter when they're going to get like creeped up from behind. Ultimately, I think their schedule is light enough where I think that they could go 10-7. Mm-hmm. And I think I do have them making the playoffs as the 6th seed. I think in my playoff preview I have them going one and done. I have them getting knocked out in the wild card game.
So Joe, here's my situation with them. I'm gonna give you a run through on what I did with them. All right, Joe is currently. Are you all right?
I'm dying.
So we can't talk about Baltimore. This is what it does. All right, so what I have for them is I have them beating the Raiders week 1. I have them losing to the Chiefs. I have them beating the Lions. I have them losing to the Broncos. I have them beating the Colts. I have them losing to the Chargers, beating the Bengals, losing to the Vikings, beating the Dolphins, beating the Bears. Joe's still dying. Losing to the Browns, beating the Steelers. They lose both to the Browns. They lose at home to the Browns, and then they lose in Cleveland. Losing to the Packers, beating the Bengals, losing to the Rams, and losing to the Steelers to finish out the season. Something about them, I don't see it. And then in my algorithm, I have them 1-8 against winning teams, and then I have them 7-1 against losing teams. But it's just something about them, Joe. I know what you mean when you say you can't put your finger on it. It's just
weird.
It could go either way. Like,
it's a weird thing. Okay. I'm sorry. That's my thing. All right, let's go to the NFC North.
My backyard. Okay.
Your backyard, yes. Don't hate me. That's how I'm going to preface this.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we're already going to be different on this.
Okay. So I have the Green Bay Packers winning the division at 13-4.
Okay.
Okay. I have the Chicago Bears coming in second place at 7-10.
All right, I already see where this is going. Okay.
I have the Minnesota Vikings coming in third at 5-12.
Interesting. Okay.
And I have the Detroit Lions coming in last at 4-13.
All right, we're way different in this.
I want you to give me your prediction, and then I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, so I have Green Bay as my 3 seed in the NFC.
Okay.
Have them winning the division at 12-5.
Right.
I have the Vikings as the 7 seed in the NFC, going 11-6.
Wow, vastly different. Oh,
Very
my
different.
God.
I have the Bears at 5-12, and I have the Lions at 2-15. The Lions, for reference, are this. So it's cool with this thing I did. It actually shows me.
Who's are they the number 1 pick?
They're not. They're actually the number 2 pick.
Okay. Houston number 1?
No.
Oh, interesting.
There's another team. Houston's actually the 3rd overall pick.
Okay. All right.
So where do you want to go? You want to go to Minnesota?
Yes, we have to. I think that's the only really one we need to talk about. I mean, Chicago, I have 7-10. You have them 5-12. Detroit, there's no sense of talking about them.
Yes.
Green Bay, we know what they are. That's fine. Okay. I think...
Wait, can I talk about the Vikings first? Real
Sure,
quick?
go ahead.
So when I went through their schedule, I had them winning all the games that they should win, right? So the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Lions, the Panthers, the Cowboys, Ravens, Chargers. I feel like those are all games they could win. I could see them losing to the Ravens and the Chargers, though, but I feel like going against a lot of teams that were losing teams last year, that's Kirk Cousins' bread and butter. He loves to play against losing teams. No, it's true, though. It's true, though.
Okay.
And then I have them splitting with the Packers. Right. I have them beating the Lions 2 times, beating the Steelers, splitting with the Bears. And they lose to all the teams that they should lose to. Seattle, Cleveland, 49ers, Packers, Rams. They lose to all the teams that they should lose to, in my opinion.
Okay. Listen to me. All right. This may be hard for you to hear as a fan.
Go ahead.
That's why I'm here. Okay. I level you when you need to be leveled, and you level me when I need to be leveled.
Okay, go ahead.
There comes a time in every franchise where things just fall apart. And sometimes they fall apart for the best possible reason they could fall apart for. And I think this year, there was one team that I was looking at living through this process, and I said, there's going to be a team that just falls off the face of the earth this year. And who is that team going to be? Every year it happens to one team.
Of course, there's one team, yep.
And I think it's the Vikings. And I think it's because of multiple things. I think it's going to be the perfect storm. I think Mike Zimmer's going to lose a locker room. I think he already is, personally. I think he already is losing the locker room. I think by mid-year he already will have. Cousins, I feel like, is a doormat. They drafted Kellen Mond in the 3rd round. They clearly don't trust him in a big spot. Mm-hmm. I'm not crazy about their defense.
Okay.
I think we spoke about this before. Even you're not expecting a great year from Adam Thielen.
I'm not expecting a great year from Adam Thielen.
You know? And their schedule, I mean, John, I'll be honest with you. I have them losing their first 3 games. I have them losing in Cincy. I have them losing in Arizona. I have them losing to Seattle.
Please don't tell me that they lose to Cincy. I took them minus 3.5.
Well, we'll get to our picks later. But I just feel like there's something missing from this team. And I feel like the soul is missing from them. I feel like they're almost like a soulless team.
I agree.
And I think the best thing for them would be for this to happen. I feel like the best thing for them would be to go 5-12, 4-13, get a top 5 pick, move on from Kirk Cousins, move on from Mike Zimmer, completely rebuild the franchise. It's the perfect time. Think about it. It's the perfect time. Okay? Aaron Rodgers is there for another year. Okay? So even you said you're not. Let's be frank. You have Minnesota making the playoffs. I don't. You really think your team's a Super Bowl contender?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Wouldn't it be in the realm of possibilities that you would feel better about the team moving forward next year if Kirk was gone and Zimmer was gone and you kind of started fresh with all these new faces?
So here's the thing, Joe. I agree with you. I think that this team is kind of soulless. I think the Everson Griffin signing actually showed you a little something where it was like there is no defined leader on this team. And Everson Griffin coming back is like he's a staple in Minnesota. He was always a voice in the locker room, a defensive voice in the locker room, and just an overall voice in the locker room. Like you saw it throughout his entire tenure there. He's fantastic, and now he's back. Cousins this offseason rubbed me the wrong way for a magnitude of reasons.
Okay.
I think he's there to collect a paycheck, and that's it. I don't think he wants to be in Minnesota. I don't even know if he truly cares about football. But at the same time, I do like Zimmer, though. I will say that. I mean, but granted, listen, he's been my coach forever. I'm not going to say I don't like him, but I think that the way that this team has drafted the last few years and the way that this team has approached free agency the last few years, I feel like they've had times where they've went all in, and then they've had times where it's like, we're going to step back and we're going to draft a corner.
And now I feel like I have no idea where they are.
And I do feel a little lost with them, but we're getting Michael Pierce back. We have what's Tomlinson from the Giants who just signed.
I like him.
We locked up Harrison Smith, but we do have question marks at corner. Linebackers are getting old. Kendrick's coming off of an injury, and Anthony Barr was horrendous last year.
It was bad?
Very bad last year. He was picked on constantly every single week. Jefferson is a shining star on offense. Dalvin Cook, you already know what you're getting.
Right.
And Thielen, I feel like, is a regression candidate. I mean, Thielen, I was looking at his numbers last year. 72 receptions, 935 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Granted, on paper, that looks fantastic, but we're talking about a guy who had 175 targets a couple of years ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, listen, I agree, but I do see them making the playoffs just off of the strength that they have so many veterans on that team. They won't go anywhere if they get into the playoffs. They lose in the wild card.
I just think that from the Baltimore game on, at the end of their schedule, from week 9 to week 18, John, that second half of the schedule is even if you want to go before and go the Dallas game, that is Dallas at Baltimore, at LA Chargers, home against the Packers, in San Fran, in Detroit, against the Steelers, in Chicago, against the Rams, in Green Bay, and then home against Chicago. John, that is tough sledding.
That's tough, but you know what's funny?
That is tough sledding.
I have them going 7-3 down that stretch.
Wow. Holy Christ. I have them winning 3 games in that stretch.
So the difference is the Baltimore game and the Chargers game. I feel like those games can go either way. And that can make or break the season. One of those games could push them out of the playoffs, in my opinion. I have them at 12-5.
Wow. Okay. Minnesota. Conundrum.
I have them at 11-6. I'm sorry.
All right. Let's go to the AFC South. All right. Here we go. You ready? Newsflash, folks. I do not have the Jacksonville Jaguars winning the division.
Okay.
I have the Tennessee Titans doing that at 12-5. Okay.
We are already very different.
I have the Indianapolis Colts coming in second place at 7-10. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in third place also at 7-10. And I have the Houston Texans coming in last at 2-15.
Okay, so real quick, I have Indy actually winning the division and being my 4 seed.
Okay.
I have them at 10-7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have Tennessee just missing the playoffs at 9-8.
I hope to God that comes true.
I have Jacksonville 7-10.
Okay.
And I have Houston at 2-15 as well.
Okay. So
who do you want to talk about in this division?
The Colts.
Which, by the way, can we just say it? If Jacksonville's 7-10, marketed improvement.
If Jacksonville is 7-10, I will throw a party because that is just from 1-15 to 7-10. God, that would just tell me that whatever Urban Meyer is preaching is working.
Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence is 6 wins.
So I'm all ears, but there's no need to. We both have them at 7-10.
We both have them at 7-10.
No need to discuss.
You want to talk about Indy?
I want to talk about the Colts because I think the Colts are interesting. I basically don't like Carson Wentz.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Pretty much where I'm at with them. Talk about a tough schedule coming out of the gate. The Indy has a very tough schedule coming out of the gate. Their first 5 weeks are as follows: home for Seattle, home against the Rams, in Tennessee, in Miami, in Baltimore on Monday Night Football. And then after the reprieve against the Texans, they are in San Francisco and then home against the Titans. That is a tough stretch. For the record, I have them beating Seattle on opening week, and I have them then losing the next 4 games to the Rams, the Titans, the Dolphins, and the Ravens.
So I have them at 4-4 up to week 8.
I have them at 3-5.
Yeah, so I have them losing week 1. I think that's where we're different there. I have them losing week 2. Mm-hmm. I have them beating the Titans in Tennessee, and I have them beating Miami in Miami.
So I have them splitting with Tennessee. I just have them beating Tennessee at home.
Okay, that's fair.
I have them splitting with Jacksonville. I have them splitting with Houston. I have them going 3-3 in the division. And and I have them going
I'm 4-2.
1-1, 1-2. I have them going 1-3 against the NFC West. I had the only win against the Seattle Seahawks. I have them losing to Frisco, I have them losing to LA, and I have them losing to Arizona. So that gives them 6 losses right there. And then I have them splitting pretty much the rest of their schedule.
You know what's interesting from week 12 on? So week 12, obviously, Bucks are beating them. I'm not even questioning
I have them losing to Houston in week 13.
See, I have them beating Houston in week 13. After the bye week, though, home for New England, in Arizona, home for the Raiders, at Jacksonville. I have them going 4-0.
I have them going 2-2. I'm just telling you, you could pencil it in now. The Colts and the Jaguars always split.
Oh, no, I do have them splitting. I have the Jaguars winning in Indy.
Yeah, they always split. I have them beating New England at home. I have them losing in Arizona, and I have them beating Vegas, and I have them losing to Jacksonville in Week 18.
That's fair. Okay. All right, so that's where we're different. I have them as my 4 seed in the
That's
AFC.
fine. All right, let's go to the NFC, the NFC South.
Okay.
Okay. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going 15-2.
Me too.
I think they have a very, very soft schedule this season. I have the New Orleans Saints coming in second place at 8-9.
Me too.
I have the Carolina Panthers coming at third at 7-10.
Holy shit, me too. Are we going to go 4 for 4 in this division?
And then I have the Atlanta Falcons coming in last place at 2-15.
Wow, I have them at 3-14. Okay, so who do you want to talk about in this division? Because I have.
Is there really anyone to talk about?
Not really. So Tampa, I feel like is the number 1 seed in the NFC. The Saints.
If anybody's just questioning why we have them going, listen to this schedule: Dallas, Atlanta, at LA, which I have them losing.
Me too.
I have them beating New England, have them beating Miami, have them beating Philly, beating Chicago, beating New Orleans. None of those teams are world beaters. Okay. Washington, I have them beating the Giants at Colts, Atlanta. I have them beating Buffalo at home. New Orleans. I have them losing one of their games to Carolina.
I have them losing in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's the one loss I have.
Right. So their schedule is not difficult.
It's not at all. They're 5-1 in the division.
They could sleepwalk through that schedule and go. I feel like they could do what the Chiefs did last year. They could sleepwalk through their schedule and go like 15-1.
Yeah. Their over-under for wins is kind of crazy, too. I think it's like 12.
Yeah, I just don't see it. Let's talk about Carolina.
That's who I was going to say.
Let's talk about Atlanta, because I'm going through Carolina's schedule, and very similarly like to Baltimore, I feel the complete opposite way about Carolina. I feel like there's something brewing in Carolina, and I kind of like what's happening over there.
Why do you think I traded for DJ Moore this morning?
I don't know what it is. And I'm not even sure that Sam Darnold's the answer at quarterback. But I kind of like what's happening there in a weird way.
I do too.
And it's not going to result in a playoff berth this season, but I think going forward into like 2022 and 2023, like I feel like, as Tampa Bay starts to go on the downturn, that Carolina is going to be that team that comes on the upswing. And
can I push back on you for a second really quick?
Talk to me.
I do think Sam Darnold's the guy.
Do you really?
Listen, in the preseason, he was electric. And I know that we're going against second and third string defensive players, but when was the last time Sam Darnold's looked that accurate? Or looked that comfortable?
I'll tell you this. It's the first time in his career Sam Darnold's had somebody to throw the ball to.
He has a good team. And granted, listen, the last time we saw something like this was Adam Gase and Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill was given up from Miami for peanuts. And now Ryan Tannehill is this, oh my God, he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. Newsflash. It was the same thing as it was with Sam Darnold. The intangibles were there. You saw it at times, but for the most part, you saw bad. And with Ryan Tannehill, it was injury.
And it's funny because they have all the things that were checkmarked in Tennessee are checked, star running back.
Check. Yeah. Star wide receiver. Check.
Yeah.
They have the team. And I mean, look, young defense last year, but they drafted very well.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Duke Johnson signing with the Jaguars. Let's go. Sorry.
Wow. You want to go pick him up?
No, but that's sick. Okay, continue. I apologize.
I didn't even know he was a free agent.
They're signing him to his practice squad until he's ready, and they're going to put him on the active roster. That's
There's your Travis Etienne replacement.
Wow. All in. Okay, never mind.
Anyway, so you're right, though. I agree with you, Joe. There's something brewing in Carolina. That young defense was pretty good last year in spots. Matt Rule, he's a good coach.
I think he gets the message across, I think. I think he does. I think he just does an okay job.
And you have an owner who will
wants to win,
who will stop at nothing to try to win. I can see them making a play for somebody like Michael Thomas midseason. I can see them making a play for a big-time player that's available. Listen, you're right. There is something brewing in Carolina. Dude, I think that team looks pretty good. Just for reference, if we're talking about the Carolina schedule, I have them starting off 4-1. I have them beating the Jets. I have them beating the Saints. I have them beating the Texans. 3 very winnable games for them. I have them losing to the Cowboys, and I have them beating the Eagles. And their schedule gets a little dicey down the stretch. I have them like beating the Falcons at Atlanta, losing to the Patriots, losing to the Cardinals, losing to Washington, beating the Dolphins in Miami. They split with the Falcons. I have them losing to the Bills in Buffalo. I have them losing to the Buccaneers. I have them beating the Saints, and I have them losing to the Buccaneers again. So their schedule for me does get a little dicey, which is why they end up 7-10. But I think they start off real hot like they did last year. They started off pretty well, so that's where I'm at with Carolina. And I have them 0-7 against winning teams and 7-3 against losing teams.
I think it's going to be fun to watch them play this year. There's one of those teams that I'm going to like. I would like to watch their games. Like if you know,
like if you had an NFL Sunday ticket, you turn on the Carolina game just to be like, what's going on in here? You know.
I want to talk about Atlanta. For the record, I have Atlanta getting the first overall pick in the draft this year.
Wow, they would actually get my 4th overall pick.
They get your 4th.
Yeah.
I have them getting the first overall pick. This team's going to be terrible.
Yeah, horrible.
They're going to be really bad. I'll be shocked if they come close to 6 wins.
They're not even going to sniff it. Not even within smelling distance. Their schedule's hard too at times.
I mean, I have them losing to teams like Detroit.
Me too. I have them losing to the Lions week 16.
I have them losing to the Jets. I have them losing to Philly.
Yep. I have them losing all the games they should win.
I have them beating 2 teams. I have them beating the Giants in week 3. And I have them beating the Panthers in week 8.
I have them beating Philly week 1. And then it's just they go 1-6.
But it's going to be a long year. I mean,
poor Matt Ryan.
I think Matt Ryan is the next Matthew Stafford.
Just waiting for that team.
I think here's another bold prediction. Okay? Next season, Matt Ryan is playing quarterback for the Denver Broncos.
Okay. I like that. So you're saying they miss out on Rodgers?
I think Rodgers comes back to Green Bay again.
Okay.
And I think that the Falcons get the number 1 overall pick and they draft one of these quarterbacks coming out and they say, Matt, thank you for everything you've done. We almost won a Super Bowl with you. Now we're going to give you to a team who's a quarterback away. We'll trade you to Denver.
You know what, though? That's such bullshit. Because this past year, they had the ultimate opportunity and one of the richest quarterback drafts in a long time.
You're talking about
this past season.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Well, they drafted Kyle Pitts.
That was, honestly, for me, that was a miss.
So, okay. I'm going to stop you in your tracks for a second, okay? Next season, they have a rookie quarterback. Wouldn't you want to be a rookie quarterback throwing to Russell Gage, Calvin Ridley, and Kyle Pitts?
I get that, but at the same time, when are you going to have a Justin Fields on the board?
Okay, but...
Hometown quarterback.
I hear you. I hear you.
Matt Ryan's going to waste away on a 3-14
I have them at 2-15.
2-15.
We're kind of on the same. Their defense may be the worst defense in football.
I agree.
It's very, very poor. And they really did nothing to address it this offseason.
Nope. What was their biggest move? They traded Julio Jones.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a complete downward spiral for them. And it's not like they were 4-12 last year. It's not like they're going like huge, but I think they're just going to look significantly worse than they did last year. So the rebuild has started in the ATL.
Do you want to go to the AFC West? Because I have.
Yep. Let's do it.
This is the most interesting one for me.
All right, let me start then. Okay, I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning division at 13-4.
Are they your 1 seed in the AFC?
They're my 2 seed.
Okay.
My Buffalo Bills are the 1 seed.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have the LA Chargers coming in second place at 11-6.
Wow. Okay.
I have the Denver Broncos coming at third at 8-11, and I have the Vegas Raiders coming in fourth at 6-11.
All right, Joe. Are you ready for this?
You definitely have the Raiders at like 1-15.
Hold on to your seats for this one. I have the Chiefs winning the division and being my number 1 seed in the AFC at 13-4.
Okay.
I have the Chargers as the 5 seed at 13-4.
Oh my God. Hold the phone. Okay.
I have 3 playoff teams in this division, Joe.
Oh, Teddy B making the playoffs?
I have Denver going 10-7.
Wow.
And I have the Raiders as my number 1 overall pick in next year's draft going 1-16.
Oh my God, John. They're not that bad. Come on.
They're that bad.
They are not that bad.
Joe, tell me where they got better.
Oh, okay. Let's go to Vegas. All right, we'll go to
Vegas?
Let's go to Vegas because they're not that bad. They're not 1-16 bad. John.
Joe, tell me this. Time out.
You're
Before you even go to them. Wait. Are we really going to have a disagreement over the Raiders right now? Wait.
We are. They're bad, but they're not that bad.
Joe, they lost 3 offensive line starters.
Okay, but they're not worse than Houston. They're not worse than Detroit.
They might be worse.
They're not worse than Atlanta.
Detroit is better than them.
Get bent. No, they're not.
Detroit is better than them. To me.
In what respect?
Joe, that team lost 3 players on the offensive line.
Oh, my
They don't know what they're doing at running back.
So who do you have them beating? You have them winning 1 game.
So I have them winning 1 game. I'll tell you who they beat. I got to find it.
You're nuts.
I have them beating the Broncos week 16.
Oh, John. Oh, my God.
Tell me they're going to beat the Ravens.
I have them losing to Baltimore and Pittsburgh to start the season.
I do too.
I have them beating Miami.
I don't.
Oh, clearly. I have them beating Chicago in week 5. I have them beating Philly in week 7. I have them beat. I couldn't say this. I have them beating Kansas City in week 10.
Jesus Christ.
Because
bud.
they split with KC last year.
I know
and
that was their
KC
Super Bowl. I forgot.
I have them beating Cincinnati, and then I have them beating Denver. I have them splitting with Denver, but I have them 6-11 is a last place football team. I don't think I'm like saying they're a good football team by any stretch, but you have them at 1-16.
Joe, they have one of the toughest schedules I've seen. So I have them beating. It's just I don't see them beating Miami. I don't see them winning a single game.
You don't see them beating anyone.
I don't. I just don't see. I don't see it. I don't see a team that got any better. I see a team that got worse. I see a team that has an offensive identity crisis. I see a team that does not have a wide receiver 1. I see a team that, aside from Darren Waller, who I think will put up big numbers, there's nobody there. Josh Jacobs, they don't know how to use him. If you were confident in Josh Jacobs and you understood his skill set, you would not have gone out and gotten Kenyon Drake. Everyone was clamoring the last few years for Josh Jacobs to get more involved with the passing game because he has very, 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 very good hands. And he is very good in the passing game. You don't go out and you get Kenyon Drake.
John, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying.
And
here.
Derek Carr, there is no confidence from that team or anybody, it seems like, in Derek Carr, who could be a good quarterback, but he gets too frazzled. He gets too lost. He's shell-shocked since the injury in that team. He's just frazzled.
I don't think they're 1-win bad. I have them 6. I could see them going 4-13. I could see them going 5-12.
Either way, I don't think, even if they go 1-16, I don't think John Gruden's gone. I don't think Mike
He
Mayock's
signed a 10-year contract. He's not going anywhere.
I think that they just take it as a
the
misstep.
guy that's on the hot
whatever.
seat is Mike Mayock. That's the guy that's on the hot seat.
He's had some of the worst drafts I've ever seen in my life.
That's the one thing I think that's the constant, is the Raiders have drafted, out of all 32 NFL franchises over the past, since John Gruden took over, the Raiders have drafted the worst out of any franchise, and that's not even up for discussion.
Piss poor.
Like, it has been horrible.
And they're not involved in free agency.
And you look at all the teams that have gotten better over the years, right? You look at Kansas City. They got better through the draft, right? Obviously, you draft Mahomes. They got Tyreek Hill. They draft Hilaire. They draft L'Jarius Sneed. They draft all these guys, right?
And they're active in free agency.
Active in free agency. You look at a team like Washington, okay? Draft Chase Young. Draft Terry McLaurin. Draft Antonio Gibson.
Justin Simmons.
That's the Broncos.
No, who's the defensive? Jonathan Abrams.
That's the Raiders. Yeah. Washington drafts Montez Sweat.
Yes.
Right. They draft Jonathan Allen. Right.
Allen. That's what I meant.
They draft all these guys and look at them. Oh my God, they have a very good defense. Well, no shit, because they drafted well. Even a team like Carolina, who we spoke about before, right? You draft DJ Moore, you draft who's the guy on defense that they drafted? Brian Burns, the defensive end,
and then there's the defensive tackle that they drafted.
They drafted Jonathan, not Jonathan Chin. What the hell?
Jeremy Chin.
Jeremy Chin. Yes.
And then there was Derek.
I
got it. Hold on.
I hear you. But my point is, the Raiders had an opportunity here to get a lot better, and they failed at that. And that's an indictment on the front office. So if anyone's going to lose their job this year in Vegas, and they might, let's be clear, they might.
Gross Matos was drafted by them. J.C. Horn.
Yes, J.C. Horn. Okay, there you go. And Gross Matos is another one. I do like him a lot. The defense is young and better, right? But if anyone's on the hot seat, it's not the players, John. It's not the players. And Gruden's not going anywhere. But it's going to be Mayock. It's going to be the GM. You cannot draft Clelin Ferrell, 4th overall.
Derek Brown. That's the guy.
Yes, Derek Brown last year, who's very good for them.
7th overall pick for them.
Right? You draft Clelin Ferrell number 4. You draft Jonathan Abrams at the back end of the first round. You draft Henry Ruggs before Jerry Jeudy comes off the board, and CeeDee Lamb. You draft who's the guy with the red dreadlocks? Oh my God. In their defensive back.
Is it Garyon Conley?
Yeah, no.
Garyon Conley's not even with the team.
No. It was another guy. 2019, I think, or 20. Oh my God.
Ohio State?
He was drafted in the Damon Arnett.
Yep.
That guy's horrific.
He was terrible. It was a terrible pick when they did it.
And this year, they drafted Alex Leatherwood, who was projected to go in the 3rd round. They took him in the 1st round.
Who else was on the board at that time?
It was just like Tevin Jenkins on the board. Liam Eichenberg was on the board. It's just like guys who there's reaching, right? And we talk about fantasy football all the time, right? We spoke about it a month ago. Don't be afraid to go up and get your guy, but do it within your means.
But Mike Mayock is doing this with an actual organization. It's a little different. Like he thinks that he's getting these good players. I mean, the best pick that they've had the last few years. I mean, Josh Jacobs, all right, which a lot of people are down on him this year. Who's the next best pick? Max Crosby? I mean, granted, Max Crosby, all credit to you, man, for where you
Hunter Renfrow.
I mean, good players, but at the same time, shit, man, these high picks come at such a premium, and you just wasted it. And I just don't think this team is good.
Yeah. All right. Let's move over to the last division in the NFC.
Can we talk about Denver really quick?
You want to talk about Denver?
I want to talk about Denver.
Go for it. I have them at 8-9. You have the 10-7. So
I'm at 10-7 as my 7 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Denver's one of those teams, and we've been talking about it all year. They're a
quarterback away.
Yes, they are the Tampa Bay Bucks of the NFL right now. They are a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl champion, I feel like. That defense is stellar. There's studs all over the board. You're getting Von Miller back, Bradley Chubb, Justin Simmons, just
Shelby Harris.
That team is incredible. I don't believe in the coach as much. I don't think Vic Fangio is the best coach in the world. I feel like he has a lot of mental gaffes when he's coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a lot of time management issues. But at the same time, they got better on the offense. You got Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler. You got Javonte Williams back there with Melvin Gordon. And now you got Teddy B, who, for all accounts, Teddy B, really good game manager. He's not going to make as many mental errors as Drew Lock. So I do see a team that makes the playoffs. I think they are one of those teams that missed the playoffs last year that makes it this year.
Okay.
I really do.
All right.
Quarterback, I'm telling you, if they had a quarterback, they could potentially win this division. If they had somebody like an Aaron Rodgers, a Deshaun Watson, I could see them winning the division.
Breaking news here at Perfect Spiral.
Whoa, again.
Justice Hill tore his Achilles today for the Baltimore Ravens and will miss the season. That means that if you drafted Tyson Williams or picked him up in fantasy, John, don't even look. He's already on my roster.
No, I'm not even looking in your league.
Oh, well, he's in your league. He's on my roster.
Tyson Williams?
Yep. Tyson Williams. TY_SON Williams. He is the number 2 running back now behind Gus Edwards, expect him to get a lion's share of touches this year
I don't know who I want to drop.
for the Baltimore Ravens. So
God damn it, Joe. I don't know who to drop in this league now.
So there's that. If he wasn't drafted in our league, then you have to bid for him, John, which is the whole best part. Now you can't just go and pick somebody up. So
Do I drop Higbee for him?
I would not do that.
No, right?
No. All right. Speaking of Higbee, let's go to the NFC West.
Okay.
Let's start with myself. I doubt we're going to have a lot of difference here, but let's see. Maybe we do. I have the LA Rams winning division at 12-5. I have the San Francisco 49ers coming in second place at 11-6. I have the Seattle Seahawks coming in third place at 11-6. And I have the Arizona Cardinals coming in fourth place at 8-9, and firing Cliff Kingsbury at the end of the season.
So this is my NFC team, my NFC division that has 3 playoffs teams.
This one has 3 for me as well.
So I have the Rams going 14-3. I have them as my 2 seed. I have the San Francisco 49ers going 13-4.
Wow. Okay.
They're
I have them
my
at
5 seed.
11-6. Okay.
I have Seattle going 12-5, and they're my 6 seed. Mm-hmm. And I have Arizona the same, 8-9.
Yeah.
Middling franchise.
Yeah, I think Arizona finally pulls the plug on Cliff Kingsbury to the end of the year, though. I think they're kind of like, okay, either make a move now or don't.
Yeah. So are we going to talk about the Rams?
We could. I think we're kind of on the same page with a lot of these teams. We could briefly talk about the Rams. I just think the Rams are a team that it's Super Bowl or bust for them. I have them at 12-5. You have them at 14-3. I don't have them as high as you do.
What seed are they for you?
For me, they're the number 3 seed.
Okay, they're my 2 seed.
I have them starting off the season 4-0.
Me too.
Beating off Chicago, Indianapolis, Tampa Bay, and Arizona before I have them losing to Seattle on Thursday Night Football. I also have them losing in San Francisco. I have them losing in Green Bay.
Me too.
And I have them losing in Arizona.
Okay, so I have them going...
And I have them losing in Baltimore in week 17.
Through week 10, I have them going 9-1.
I have them at 8-2.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. 8-2. Yep. I have them losing in Seattle, and I have them losing in San Francisco.
So do I.
Okay.
They have the same thing.
I have them losing in Green Bay.
Yep.
I have them beating Jacksonville.
Right.
I have them splitting with Seattle and winning at home. Mm-hmm. Beating the Vikings, beating the Ravens. Mm-hmm. And
I have them losing to the Ravens.
Okay, and I have them
splitting with San Francisco?
Yeah, and winning at home.
Yeah, okay. So I think, listen, the Rams are a team that I think the X factor for them is going to be their running game. We saw what Sean McVay's offense was without a running game. Mm-hmm. It was kind of bland and vanilla, right? And it was very Jekyll and Hyde. No Cam Akers this year for the Rams. So it's a lot of Darrell Henderson. It's a lot of Sony Michel. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that answers the bell. That being said, I think the Matthew Stafford-led offense is going to open up a whole new world that we've never seen before.
I agree.
I think Sean McVay is one of the most innovative coaches in football. They have an insanely good defense. And to me, that's what puts them over the edge, John.
I agree with
that defense is going to win games by itself. Can you imagine? Think about this for a minute. They have an offense, okay, that has the potential to put up 30 points a game, okay? Mm-hmm. But just on the off chance that their offense has a bad game, no worries. We have Aaron Donald and we have...
You got to fix that.
Yeah, I definitely do fix that. We have... What's my train? They have Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald and everything else. But this team, as long as they could get middling things from, whatchamacallit, from
Stafford,
from Michelle and Henderson.
I love Michelle this year.
Then that would be great. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna reverse that move after that's over.
All right. Where are we going next? We have a slight fantasy conundrum right now.
Yeah, I know, right? So let's do the playoffs.
Okay.
Right? So I'll tell you who's in my playoffs, and then you tell me who's in yours, and we'll go. We're going to do my playoffs first, and we'll do yours? Or you want to do your playoffs first, and we'll do mine?
We can do either way.
Okay.
I mean, you could go first.
All right,
I'm going to write out my seeds while you do that.
Okay. So here are my seeds in the AFC. I got the Bills as the number 1 seed. I have the Chiefs as the number 2. I have the Titans as the number 3. I have the Cleveland Browns as the number 4. I have the LA Chargers as the number 5. I have the Baltimore Ravens as the number 6. And I have the New England Patriots as the number 7. I have the Dolphins for the second year in a row just missing out on the playoffs. In the NFC, I have the Tampa Bay Bucks, the number 1. I have the Green Bay Packers, number 2. The LA Rams, number 3. The Washington Football Team, number 4. The San Francisco 49ers, number 5. The Seattle Seahawks, number 6. And the Dallas Cowboys, number 7, with the 8th team being the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, so I'm just writing mine out quick because I don't want to keep scrolling back and forth.
That's fine. I'll go through my playoffs now.
Okay, go ahead.
My wild card weekend. Here's what we got going on here. So wild card weekend, the Bills, and the Buccaneers would have the first round byes. Mm-hmm. So I have New England traveling to Kansas City in a Bill Belichick versus Andy Reid matchup in Kansas City. Mac Jones in his first ever playoff game going against Patrick Mahomes. And I have the Chiefs coming out on top, but I think it's going to be a lot closer. I have the final score being 23-17.
We're going like full-on scores. Okay, I didn't go that crazy.
I could do that. It's fine. Then I have the Ravens traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans in a 6-3 matchup, and I have the Titans beating the Ravens 31-20. Mm-hmm. And then I have the Chargers traveling to Cleveland in a 5-4 matchup, which to me may be the most anticipated matchup of the weekend. And I have the Chargers taking down Cleveland at home.
Wow.
38-35.
Wow.
In a shootout.
Justin Herbert gets his first win. Okay.
And then in the NFC, I have the Bucks as the number 1 seed. I have the 7-seeded Cowboys going to Green Bay. And I have the boys taking down the Pack 28-25 in Green Bay, avenging the Tony Romo, Dez Bryant fiasco all those years ago.
He Dez caught it.
Then I have the Seahawks going into LA to face the Rams. I have the Rams winning that game 17-6.
Wow. Okay.
And then I have the 49ers going into Washington and beating the football team 20-14 to move on to the divisional round.
Okay.
In the divisional round, I have the Bucks taking on San Francisco at home, and I have them just narrowly beating the 49ers 24-17 to go to their second straight NFC title game. And then I have the Rams beating the Cowboys at home 31-21 to travel to Tampa Bay to go to the NFC title game. In the AFC, I have the Titans going into Kansas City, and I have the Chiefs beating the Titans 22-21 in a last-second thriller, okay?
Okay.
Last-second thriller. And then I have the Chargers going into Buffalo in what at that time will be so many people hopping on the Justin Herbert train, just beating Cleveland, going into Buffalo. Can the kid do it again? Can he take down the potential MVP and Josh Allen? No. The Bills win that game 34-30.
Wow. Okay.
Close game.
So you're high on the Chargers now suddenly, just like I was.
The conference title game. So my last 4 teams standing. In the AFC, I have the Chiefs and the Bills, 1 and 2 seed respectively. And then in the NFC, I have the Bucks and the Rams, the 1 and the 3 seed. So with the NFC. What's Tom Brady's kryptonite, John?
A good defense. Good defensive line.
What do the Rams have?
A very good defensive line.
I have the Rams beating the Bucks 27-23 in the NFC title game.
Matt Stafford goes to the Super Bowl. Jesus Christ.
And then over in Buffalo, the Bills host an AFC title game for the first time since 1993, I think. 92.
Useless football information. It's probably right.
And I have the Chiefs beating them in Buffalo, 31-30.
Wow.
So I have Super Bowl 56 being the Los Angeles Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs, who are trying to avenge their Super Bowl. John, who do I have winning?
You have the Rams winning the Super Bowl.
You think so?
Yeah.
So let me be clear. This game would be great. You know why this game would be great? Because do you remember that Monday Night Football game?
Oh my! Where we were
couple
supposed to get
years
this
ago?
Super Bowl? Yes.
And it was like the Rams won 54-51.
Absolute shootout. One of the best
Amazing
Monday
game.
Night Football games ever.
I have a repeat of that game to a degree. But I do have Mahomes lifting up his second Lombardi trophy in 3 years. And I have the Chiefs beating the Rams 41-35 in Super Bowl 56.
That was incredible. Joe just went full drama mode and gave us his entire thing. So I didn't go that crazy. I'm just going to give you my seedings, and then I'm going to give you who I think is going to win the Super Bowl.
I'm all for it. Go for it.
So this is how the NFC goes for me. My 1 seed is Tampa Bay. My number 2 is the Rams. My number 3 is Green Bay. My number 4 is Washington. 5 is San Francisco. 6 is Seattle. And number 7 is my Minnesota Vikings. In the AFC, it's Kansas City, Cleveland, New England, Indy, Chargers, Buffalo, and Denver. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now what I think the Super Bowl is going to be. I think it's going to be a rematch.
Do you really?
I think it's going to be Tampa versus Kansas City
So
again.
we both have KC in the Super Bowl again.
We both have KC in the Super Bowl again.
Okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Don't do it.
I don't want to make the easy pick, but I think that it is the easy pick this year.
You really think Tampa wins again?
I think Tom wins his 8.
Oh
and I
my
think
God.
dude, I'm telling you, I think Tom wins 8. This team was, listen, I'm going to give you my reason why.
Tell me. I'm all for it.
This Tampa team was a year ahead of schedule. A year ahead of schedule. You got to remember, when he went in there, there was a lot of, oh, him and Arians don't get along. Oh, this team isn't clicking. Oh, Tom can't figure it out. Oh, what's going on? Oh, the protection's not right. Oh, the receivers don't know where he's throwing the ball. They've had an entire year together. They're that much closer. Antonio Brown only came in at the end of last year. This team is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think Tom wins 8. I think it is the fairy tale ending for an NFL player who's had the fairy tale career.
You think he retires at the end of the season?
I think he retires at the end of the season. I feel like if he wins 8, he retires.
Wow.
And I think that's it. I think that's the end. I think this is the end. And I think, listen, I'm not saying
Him
it's
being
gonna,
on the Madden cover is like a little hint, like, hey, this is it, guys.
like him and Mahomes like sitting together. And you know what's funny, Joe? You know what I was thinking? After that game when New England beat Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl when Tom won his last one in New England with the offsides, with the D forward offsides.
Right.
What do you think he told Mahomes in that game after the end of that game?
I don't know. He said, I'm going to beat you again or something like that.
It's
I don't
something
know.
crazy, or it's like that Michael Jordan with Larry Bird in The Last Dance. It's like, fuck you, you bitch. But no, I have Tampa winning the Super Bowl again this year. I don't. I just don't think anyone's close. I think the Rams are close. I think the Rams can do it, but at the same time, listen, it's Tom's to lose, man. It's Tom's to lose. You bring back all 22 starters on a Super Bowl team, that's no joke. All right.
Well, folks, those are our predictions. We'll post them on Twitter so everybody can hold them to us. We're going to take one more break. When we come back, we're going to do our awards predictions, and then it is time for game picks, baby. I am ready. Are you? John, you ready for game picks?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Let's do it. We'll be right back on Perfect Spiral. All right, folks, we're back here for our third and final segment of Perfect Spiral today. I am your co-host, Joe Miglio, and I have John McCarthy over here. If you're just joining us, hopefully you listened to our whole shebang. We just had our prediction segment, which was electric. And now we're going to get to our award segment before we go to our final segment, which is our weekly picks. John, we're almost done with our predictions. Let us do our awards ceremony now.
You want me to take first
Go first dibs,
crack
baby.
at this?
First dibs.
All right, so am I just going through all of them?
I'll tell you which ones I'll go through the categories. You tell me what you want.
Okay, go ahead.
MVP.
Josh Allen.
Okay. Fair enough. Coach of the year.
Bill Belichick.
Wow. Well, that makes sense based on what you said.
Yeah.
Big B. BB.
BB.
Offensive player of the year.
Josh Allen.
Okay. Interesting. Defensive player of the year.
Chase Young.
Oh, you said that a couple weeks ago.
I did say that a couple weeks ago.
Offensive rookie of the year.
Mac Jones.
You son of a bitch. Defensive rookie of the year.
Patrick Surtain.
Wow. Okay. I like it. All right. You ready for mine?
Wait, do you want comeback player of the year?
Oh, I didn't do comeback. Yes, go for it.
Dak Prescott.
Okay. We didn't do comeback, but that's fair. I'll do Dak too. That's pretty easy. All right. MVP for me is Matthew Stafford.
Interesting. Okay, I like that pick.
Okay. Based off what I said before, and if you listen to my predictions, you would know why. My coach of the year is Brandon Staley. who is the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
I think he wins Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, John and I agree. I also believe it's Josh Allen.
Okay.
Defensive Player of the Year, I feel like John may jump out of his shoes with this one because he didn't like it so much. Bradley Chubb.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay?
I do like that one.
I think Bradley Chubb becomes Von Miller this season. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I was deciding between Najee Harris and Trevor Lawrence, but I went with Trevor Lawrence because they had the better record and I think he has a better year. Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Defensive Rookie of the Year, I have Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah out of the Cleveland Browns organization.
By the way, he's looked fantastic in the preseason.
Yeah, well, we said that like for a month, so I don't know why. People will be surprised. So those are our picks. John and I agreed on one thing. That would be Josh Allen being the Offensive Player of the Year. John also has him being the MVP. So we'll see what happens there. All right. It's the moment I've been waiting for.
Is it time?
It is time. Spencer, cue the music.
Dun, 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 dun. You know that like where
That's like So it is our first pig segment of the year, folks. This is how it's going to work. John and I are going to pick 5 games a week with spreads, okay? And how we're going to do it, we're going to keep a point system, right? So each week we get a point for each game that we get whatever. Not a big deal. But at the end of the year, we'll figure something out. The loser will have to do something. Whatever that means.
And you know what's crazy is I'm adding an extra layer to this because every week, I'm announcing this on the pod right now. Every week I'm going to the FanDuel Sportsbook. And I'm putting down a $20 bet
on the games that
I want to pick.
Okay.
And it just adds an extra layer of fun.
I like that.
If I win $1 million on the podcast,
that's great.
$1 million on the podcast. But I'm going to go through I have a 7-leg and an 8-leg parlay. But,
all right, so we're doing 5 games. So pick 5.
All right, we'll do 5. So I'll just go through 5. And
so pick
I'll
5. So we'll go game for game.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go. We're both gonna.
No, this is according to the spreads, by the way. We're going
according to the spreads. We're also gonna pick the winners of the games. We'll let you know what the spreads.
Yes.
are.
Okay.
We both said we were gonna do the Cowboys Bucks game. Yes. It's the inaugural game. So let's do that first. What do you have for Cowboys Bucks Thursday night?
I have Tampa winning the game, and I took Tampa minus 7.5.
Okay.
I feel like I like that even more now with Zach Martin being out. I like that 7.5. I feel like they win that game by more than 7.
I also have the Bucks covering the 7.5 against Dallas. I like the Buccaneers' first game at home since winning the Super Bowl. Tom Brady going against the Dallas Cowboys. Again, Dak Prescott throwing his first pass since week 6 in a real game before he got hurt. No Zach Martin. Defense is still a work in progress. They had that COVID outbreak in the facility a couple of weeks ago. I feel like it's kind of like a perfect storm for Tampa Bay. I think Dallas is going to keep it close in the beginning, but I think towards the second half, Tampa Bay just roll away with it.
I think ultimately Tampa Bay wins by about 10.
I got Tampa Bay. I was going to say I got Tampa Bay winning 34-24.
Yeah, 10.
So that's what I got going there. What's your second game?
So my second game is I'm taking Minnesota minus 3.5 against Cincinnati.
Okay.
It's in Cincinnati, but I do feel like Kirk Cousins against typically losing teams, I like that. I also like how that team just did not get any better. I feel like they do cover that 3.5.
Okay.
I feel like they win by 7.
You win by 7. Okay. Fair enough. I am going to go to Jacksonville.
Okay.
And not what you think, though. I'm going to go to Jacksonville, the city, because that is where the Saints are playing the Green Bay Packers this week because of Hurricane Ida.
Okay.
And because they are playing that game in Jacksonville, Florida, and they are not playing that game in the Superdome, I am going to go with the Green Bay Packers, who are currently -4 to defeat the Saints, and I think the Packers are going to cover that spread. If this game was in New Orleans, I would have not even touched this game.
Okay.
But because it's not in New Orleans, I feel that much more confident to go with Green Bay winning Week 1 over the Saints.
I like that. Okay.
I don't think the Saints are a bad football team. I think they're an average football team. But this game's at a neutral site. They could say it's a Saints home game all they want, and unfortunately it's not, but it is at a neutral site. You put this game at a neutral site, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers over Jameis Winston any day of the week.
Gotcha.
So I'm taking the Packers -4. What do you got?
You want my third?
I want your third.
Okay, so my third, I took Carolina -5 against the Jets.
Ooh.
The game is in Carolina.
Going balls to the wall there. I like that.
Oh,
that's a game I looked at and I said, nope.
Yeah, listen, in Carolina, Sam Darnold revenge game.
I think the Jets can win that game. I really do.
Listen, I like Carolina.
I know you do.
Carolina.
I know.
I mean, after we spoke about it earlier, I like it even more. So I took Carolina -5 on that.
Okay. I am going to go to the west side of the country.
Okay.
I'm going to go to California, and I'm going to take the Rams -7 over the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football.
You like that?
I do.
I took that too on here.
I think the Rams are going to absolutely annihilate the Bears.
Yep, I agree. I think Andy Dalton has a bad day.
I think it's just going to be. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like third-degree manslaughter. I feel like.
I agree too.
I think the Rams win that game like 42-10 or something like that. I think it's brutal. Yep. First game at SoFi Stadium with fans.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. But I think the Rams absolutely troll the Bears on Sunday Night Football. So
I agree.
got the Rams -7.
All right. So another one I took, which is interesting because this is actually going to be the first time we where I take the spread, but I don't pick the winner.
Okay.
So I took Cleveland +6.5.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
I took this across both my parlay sheets.
Right.
I don't think Kansas City is going to cover the spread on this.
But you think they're going to win?
I feel like Kansas City is going to win. Close game by 3. I don't think that they cover the spread on this. I feel like the Browns, listen, people need to get this through their heads. The Browns are a good team. The Browns are a very good football team. Odell Beckham is coming back, his first game since last year. I feel like they come out the gates hot. I feel like maybe they have Kansas City against the ropes at times. I'm going to take Kansas City to win because I feel like that's just the pick. I feel like that's just a safe pick. But I do like the Browns +6.5. I just don't think Kansas City is going to cover that.
Okay. I'm going to... This pains me to do this, but I'm going to take the Titans -3 over the Cardinals at home. I think that the Titans are a better football team than Arizona. I think they're going to go. They're going to go all hands on deck in Week 1. They're going to show off Julio Jones, their new little toy. I think that the Cardinals are a much different team on the road than they are at home. I don't think a year removed changes that at all.
Yeah.
I think it'll be close for a while, but I do think Tennessee wins that game by about 7 to 10 points, and I like them. -3 for me is a little small for that game. I like the Tennessee Titans. All right, last one. Upset special. So you have to pick a team that's not favored.
A team that's not favored. Okay. All right, because I have all. Let me go then. Let me look because I have all favorites on this sheet except for Cleveland.
Okay, I'll go first then.
Okay.
My upset special is the Cincinnati Bengals covering against the Minnesota Vikings in Week 1 at home.
Don't say that, Joe. They have the -3.5.
They have the Bengals. They're +3 right now. I have the Bengals winning outright in that game. I think the Joe Burrow return story comes to fruition. I like their offense, John. You know how I feel about Joe Mixon. You know how I feel about their wide receiver core. Their defense is a work in progress, granted. But I already spoke to you about how I feel about Minnesota. I think Minnesota doesn't win this game. I think they lose this game. I think it's a last-second field goal type of game. But I think I kind of like Cincinnati in this game. I think Cincinnati could pull off the upset here. So I'm going to go Cincinnati +3 over the Vikings.
Okay. This isn't much of an upset.
Is it an upset in the spread?
It's an upset. I mean, not really. No, they're the favorite, though. See, I'm having a little trouble here with this because... Okay.
Take a shot in the dark.
All right. I'll take a shot in the dark. I think Washington beats the Chargers.
They're not favored.
They're not favored.
Wow.
The Chargers are favored by 1. Now, you know what's funny? I'll say this. So I think Washington could win that game.
Okay.
But I did take Washington, actually. I took them on my other one, the money line.
Okay.
But you know what's funny, Joe? I'm looking at this right now. That Cleveland Kansas City line moved
to what?
-6.
Did it really?
Yeah. And so did the Jacksonville Texans.
To what?
-3.
So the Jaguars now favored by 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I took them at -2.5 on here.
I would not touch that game at all.
I mean, I'm happy I have them at -2.5. And the Rams line moved.
To what?
-7.5.
Yeah, so they went up another half point. I mean, we're going to stick with what we have here. So I have them at 7. So let's recap. So I got Bucks -7.5. I like Green Bay -4 over the Saints. I like the Rams -7 over the Bears. I like the Titans -3 over the Cardinals. And I like the Bengals +3 over the Vikings. John, you want to give the folks one more shot?
So I have the Bucks -7.5.
Right, well, you agree there.
I have Vikings -3.5 against the Bengals. I have the Panthers -5. I have San Francisco -7.5. And I have Seattle -2.5. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I took, that's another one I had, but I didn't take that. I took Cleveland +6.5.
+6.5. Then you took Washington.
Washington on the money line.
On the money line. Okay. Well,
wow.
That will do it, folks. We are ready for the season. I can't wait. It comes up in a couple of days. Good God. We've waited a long time. When me and John started this podcast back in March, we were waiting for this week. We were waiting for this week to commence, and it's finally here. NFL football is coming back on Thursday. The games count. Sunday, you get a full slate of football games. I can't wait. I'm stoked, man.
I know, me too.
Any last words for the folks at home?
Nah, man, this was fantastic. Listen, guys, if you like this episode, just get ready. Every single week, we are coming with the heavy hitters. We are going to have picks. And also, I just want to make an announcement here on the pod.
Talk to me, baby.
So, the TikTok's been a little quiet. We've had some stuff cooking, some stuff brewing. I'm starting the Maddie's picks this week. What I'm going to do is, and I mean, join in too. It'll be a little fun, little tiny segment. I'm going to do me versus my dog with picks. I'm going to let her pick 5 games.
5 games?
I'm going to let her pick 5 games. I'm going to put a treat in each hand, and I'm going to pick which hand is each team. And whatever hand that she likes more, that's her pick. And I'm going to keep track of it throughout the season. Who's better at it, us or Maddie? So if you like dogs, you'll enjoy that. That's kind of fun. Maybe my mom will record it too. I don't know. I could get her to help out. You might hear her yell or something. I don't know.
Well, folks, let us know what you think about the podcast. Remember, rate, review, and subscribe on any way you listen to the podcast. Apple, Spotify, Google, Pandora. That's all we got today. For John McCarthy, my name is Joe Miglio, and have a happy football Sunday.
Happy football, everybody.